The bottom section of the stair and the small level at top are curved. We provide the plywood templates for those curves to make framing that area much easier. In this case, we would send the balcony plywood plate out first, before the stair is delivered, so that section can be framed first. The plywood plate for the curved section would be delivered with a stair to be used when framing that section prior to the drywall being installed. After the stair is completely fastened into position, it is now time to frame any rake walls or sections that are part of the stair design. When framing rake walls, care should be taken not to force up the stair out of position. Up to this point, everything has been considered the rough set of the stair. This is a very important part of the process. When done correctly, it will also save time installing newels, rails, and balusters. Now it is time to hang drywall. Shown here is a mock section that represents that process. After the sheetrock and plastering are completed, it is now time to start the finish installation. We use a fastening system called Fasten Fast for attaching our volute newel onto the starting step. The fastener is made of 2 steel discs, and 12 3 1/2 inch screws hold them in place. A 3/4 inch threaded rod then connects the newel to the step. Just screw down the newel clockwise to tighten into place. Apply as much pressure as needed to assure a tight fit. Next, we will install the newel post at the platform. Please note that the newel is notched at the proper height to pass building code requirements. The treads on the stairs have also been notched. Dry fit the newel first and make any slight field adjustments if needed. It is clearly marked for the location on the stair. You should always apply glue before it is fastened to the stair. Always check the newel to be sure it is square off the riser and plumb in both directions. In general, repeat the same for all other locations. The newel at the top was checked and is being installed. The newel has been notched to achieve not only the proper rake rail height, but we have also considered the height of the balcony rail. After the newels are in place, we can now install all of the landing tread. You should measure the exact length needed so the landing tread slides into the routed stringer and fits tightly against the side of the newel. This all adds to the structural integrity of the newel. Glue should always be used under landing tread and then either nail or screw and bung. With a curved landing nosing and rail, it may be shipped in 2 or more pieces, depending on the size. It will then need to be connected together in the field. To ensure a perfect fit, we manufacture off of the same CAD drawings to produce the rail, nosing, cove, and fascia. When the landing tread ends on a balcony against a wall, it should be mitered and returned back to the wall. For this demonstration, we are going to install a portion of the curved fascia. It may come as a laminated section, like this one, or a piece of flexible trim. We also include baseboard for the platforms, unless otherwise noted, that can be installed before or after the flooring contractor is finished with the platform. Cove molding and base cap molding is also supplied. Next, cut the cove molding to length. Install under landing tread on stair. We have provided the cove for the curved balcony, which is installed against the fascia. Position pre-drilled rake rail with a volute and gooseneck. The stairs come with all the rake rail holes drilled into the rail and fittings. Note how all the fittings are attached to the rail. In the case of L-shaped stairs or very large sections of rail, we will make a dry fit of the connections in our shop whenever possible. The installer will only have to make the finish cuts when the rail hits the wall. You'll notice the rail bolt sticking out of the rail end. This is one of the new patented zip bolt rail bolts. The zip bolt is inserted into the rail with the help of a 7 mm hex that is built on the shaft. A 5 mm hex driver or Allen wrench can be used to tighten the rail and fittings, most of which have been prepped in our shop. Set the second rake rail in place Glue and fasten just before tightening the rail bolt. You can see how quickly the zip bolt helps make this connection. It can be installed using power. It is far easier than trying to start a nut on the end of a bolt and fitting a wrench into the 1-inch hole. Join the remaining portions of rails with the same procedure. You will have to sand the fitting joints and blend them together after the glue has set. We do most of the sanding when we dry fit the rail in the shop. The holes for the balusters on all the level rail and landing tread where balusters are used must be drilled in the field by the installer. It gives a spot, if needed, to make an adjustment for varying field conditions. When balusters are being cut to length, extreme care should be taken. This example shows how to measure and allow for the pin to go up into the rail and down into the landing tread that will be nailed later. This would only be the case if a baluster hole that has not been prepped in our shop with an insert is needed, which happens most times on the balcony locations. On our curved and flared stairs, we use a threaded insert in the tread and a machine screw in the baluster. On this type of stair, all rake rail balusters have been cut to length and numbered for ease of installation. If a baluster happens to fall in the area of a rail bolt or on an easement, the balusters need to be cut shorter or scribed to the bottom of the rail and nailed. Each baluster should be nailed at the top, going through the tapered end into the rail. The last step of the install is to apply the base cap, which is all part of our stair system, unless otherwise noted. Here we are just showing a sample nailed into place. The cap is supplied for the top of all wall stringers, bottom of open stringers, and for the finishing touch on the baseboard and fascia. Any paint grade material used can be ordered primed from our shop. There is a huge savings in job site labor with our system. The system is designed as a kit that can be easily installed by most finished carpenters. We also offer installation in our service area.